The flick kicks off in 2040, with 8 smart heads sent to Mars for some next-level research. It's Earth's first Mars mission, aiming to see if anything ever lived there and if it's chill enough for animals to hang out. After 6 months on the red planet, they're down to their last day before heading back home. Vincent and his partner roll out in this dope ride called Rover to pick up a biologist. A massive storm hits, but Rover's handling it like a boss. They link up with the biologist, who starts digging into the Martian soil but comes up with nada. Frustrated by the lack of results after 6 months of grinding, they get a message from the main base orbiting Mars. "We're sending a spaceship soon to bring y'all back. Get ready to bounce." One of the scientists, Marco, asks the captain if he can head out to fix this busted device called Site 9. The captain's surprised but cool with it, telling him to take his partner and be back before dark. Just as Vincent, his partner, and the biologist return, they hear about Marco's mission. The biologist checks Marco's computer and finds he had discovered signs of life with Site 9 and kept it on the low to snag all the credit. The captain radios Marco's rover, but only Marco's partner is inside while Marco's testing the soil. Marco realizes the spot could actually support life and is hyped. He rushes to tell his partner when, bam, the ground gives way, and he falls into a hole they had dug earlier. His partner freaks out and bolts to report it to the base. A while later, the captain rolls up with another crew member and a doctor who's tight with Marco. She's all, "We gotta get down there and save him ASAP." But the captain's like, "Hold up, this hole is huge. Marco might not have made it. We ain't geared up to go down there yet. Let's head back to base, contact the main station, then come back ready to rescue him." The doctor's not having it. She's like, "You head back. I'm staying here. By the time we return, it might be too late. I'll try to get to him myself." The captain, seeing her determination, agrees. Back at the base, the captain and Marco's mate fill everyone in and hit up the station. The station replies, "Use your tools to find Marco. If he's alive, great. If not, bring his body back. We'll present his findings on life forms to the world." The captain splits up the crew. Marco's mate and the biologist stay at the base, while the captain and the rest head to Site 9. Meanwhile, the doctor sees smoke coming from the hole. She hops into Rover, but then hears noises outside, like someone's trying to get in. She checks it out, gets spooked, and lets out a scream. The screen goes black, leaving everyone on edge. When it lights up again, the captain and his crew roll up. The captain and Vincent peer down into the hole while the other 2 scientists head into the rover to check on the doc. But guess what? No doctor in sight. They figure she must have gone down the hole to save Marco, so they tie a rope around Vincent and lower him in. Down in the hole, Vincent spots some live bacteria growing like crazy on the rocks, but no sign of Marco or the doc. Frustrated, he climbs back up. One of the crew mentions seeing 2 sets of footprints leading towards their base. The captain's puzzled, thinking, those must be Marco's and the doc's footprints. But why would they hoof it back instead of using the rover? Suddenly, an alert blares from the base. Someone's approaching. The biologist and Marco's partner rush to check it out, assuming it's their crew. Marco's partner peers through the window and spots Marco outside. He lets him in, but something's way off. Marco looks twisted, his body all messed up. Out of nowhere, Marco loses it and attacks his partner, who manages to hit the security alarm before getting hurt. The biologist rushes in to help and finds Marco going berserk. Just then, the doc stumbles in, looking just as jacked up as Marco. She flips out and attacks the biologist, who barely manages to lock both Marco and the doc in a room. Hearing the ruckus, the captain and the crew rush back. The captain heads inside alone, only to find blood everywhere, and the biologist standing outside the locked room, shaken. The biologist urges, "We gotta bounce now." Suddenly, Marco busts down the door and lunges at the captain, who narrowly escapes, injured but alive. The captain stumbles outside, and the crew scrambles. They hightail it to another base, carrying the injured captain with them. Vincent's mate, who's a doctor, starts treating the captain. The captain's looking rough, saying, "I'm getting worse. I'm forgetting stuff, and I'm crazy thirsty." One of the crew tries to give him water, but the captain loses it and attacks. It's clear he's turning into another Marco or Doc. Turns out it's all from a virus caused by the bacteria in that hole. Anyone infected becomes a mindless, aggressive zombie. The captain dies, and the biologist quickly ties him up, realizing even the dead could come back and attack. Then, they discover Marco and the doctor have busted out of their room and are heading their way, more powerful and terrifying than ever. Vincent steps up with a plan. "I'll get to the base's main room using the underground pipes. Once there, I'll fire up the system and contact the station for help." Everyone agrees, and Vincent takes off. Meanwhile, the doctor tests the captain's blood and figures out it's all because of the life form Marco found at Site 9. That bacteria is super dangerous, taking over people's minds and erasing their memories. They scramble to develop an antidote and use it on the captain's body. It works! Vincent reaches the main room and starts sending messages to the station, but suddenly the lights go out and the system shuts down. He heads out to check the problem and finds Marco's partner, now infected, wrecking the main system. As soon as he spots Vincent, he charges to attack. Right behind him are Marco and the doctor, both looking ready to pounce. Vincent's partner, knowing Vincent's life is on the line, calls out for help. The biologist rushes in, spraying the antidote at the attackers. They weaken and drop to the ground. Vincent makes his way back to the group, using the pipe for cover. Marco's infected partner is hot on their trail. The biologist shouts to draw attention away from Vincent and the others, urging them to save themselves. One of their crew, thinking the biologist might be infected, decides to stay behind. He grabs Vincent and his partner, and they make a break for it. As they run, Marco attacks, injuring Vincent's partner. They drag her into the rover, and Vincent quickly injects her with the antidote. But they realize the rover's running low on power. There's another rover nearby with a full charge, so they make a dash for it. Just as they reach the new rover, they spot their infected companions following close behind. They realize the vaccine isn't working as well as they hoped. Inside the new rover, they regroup, but then the pilot contacts Vincent, warning, "Your partner's infected. We can't risk taking her to Earth. If you want to get out of here, you'll have to leave her behind." Vincent doesn't hesitate. "No way! I'm not leaving her." The pilot takes off alone, leaving Vincent and his crew. That night, they try to rest. By morning, Vincent wakes to find his partner wandering outside the rover. She knows she's infected and doesn't want to endanger him, so she's trying to leave. Vincent follows her footprints and finds her. He gets out of the rover and walks toward her, but she removes her helmet, sacrificing herself to save him. She dies just as Vincent reaches her. Suddenly, Vincent's partner, now fully infected, attacks him. He's forced to fight back and, in a heartbreaking moment, kills his infected partner. A spaceship from the main station finally arrives to rescue them. Vincent spots it from afar. As he makes his way toward the spaceship, he sees the rest of his infected companions, along with the pilot, in his rover. Vincent tries to contact the spaceship but gets no response. When Vincent enters the spaceship, he sees the pilot, now infected too. Vincent tells him, "You can't go with me. I can't let this virus get out into the world. My partner couldn't go, and neither can you." The pilot, desperate, says, "I need to get to Earth. We might find a cure there." But Vincent stands firm, and a fight breaks out. The pilot injures Vincent and knocks him unconscious, launching the spaceship and taking off. When Vincent comes to, he struggles but manages to kill the pilot, throwing him out of the spaceship. However, the ship's low on fuel. Vincent sends a final message to the main station saying, "With deep regret, our entire team is dead. Everyone got infected by this virus. There's little fuel left, but enough food for a while. I don't want to live because I think this virus has got to me too. We failed to make a proper antidote, so I choose to die here to prevent this virus from spreading to Earth. Please, do not come to save me." Vincent waits for his end alone inside the spaceship. Just like Vincent's story, there's always more waiting to unfold. If you're ready for another thrilling journey into the unknown, hit that subscribe button. Show some love by liking this video if you crave more intense, heart-stopping tales. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and your imagination soaring.